Hi. Are you struggling with English speaking and writing tests? If so, welcome. You have come to the right place. I am not a native speaker of English, but I have gotten 8.5 in IELTS writing. And if I can do that, well, so can you. Today I'm going to show you my response to IELTS writing task 2. And after that, I review my own response in terms of the 4 scoring criteria. Now let's take a look at my response. Okay, here is my writing response, and I'm going to show you just the body paragraphs because the introduction and the conclusion paragraphs are not as important as the body paragraphs. Okay, let's go. There are a great many positive impacts of club activities on young citizens. One is that they can relieve their daily stress. Going to school can be stressful. Hours of classes, large amounts of homework, and group work can all be stressors to the youth. A club activity, on the other hand, is a fun activity. Students in a soccer club can practice in a schoolyard under the sunlight with their teammates and hang out after the practice. If they win a tournament, they can share the sense of triumph with their friends. Without these experiences, they might be stressed out. Alright, let's move on to the second body paragraph. Learning social rules and manners is another incredibly important reason for joining a club activity. Whether a sport or art exhibition, all members of a club must comply with the rules. For example, if they are due to compete in a tennis tournament, they must understand and follow the given guideline to the letter to avoid unfair play. They are also expected to respect not only their teammates but also their opponents. This is how young adults can cultivate their sense of fair play and harmony, and this might not be something that they can learn by reading a textbook in the classroom. Okay, final paragraph. Conversely, some might argue that the club activity experience is not as beneficial as it seems. Things can go wrong if teachers or parents expect too much of their children. For instance, I have read an article about teenagers who wake up at 4 a.m. to practice baseball before school. It is because they are expected to win the upcoming game. Many of those students doze off during afternoon classes. Therefore, it is obvious that adults should not make students put their noses to the grindstone all day long. But I feel that the advantages mentioned in the previous paragraphs outweigh this disadvantage. Okay, now let's go over my response in terms of these scoring criteria. I'll start with task response. Task response means how I answered the question and how much I developed the topic. In terms of this, I think I did a good job here because I talked about both the advantages and the disadvantage of participating in a club activity. And for each point, I have provided very detailed information. So for example, the first paragraph. Look at the yellow part. Students can practice on a schoolyard under the sunlight, hang out after the practice, and share the sense of triumph. This is very detailed, right? So this is a plus on a writing test. And the second body paragraph also, if they compete in a tennis tournament, they follow the guideline and respect not only their teammates but also their opponents. So this is so much detail. And also the last paragraph, the article thing, this is fiction. This is not based on the truth. But, students wake up at 4 a.m. To practice baseball. Some of them sleep in the class. This is also very detailed. So I want you to remember the more detail, the better. Okay, now let's move on to coherence and cohesion. To achieve a high score on this, you have to make sure that you use a wide range of cohesive devices, not just one or two. I counted and I have found 6 cohesive devices in my response this time, so this is fine. Alright, let's move on to lexical resource. To do well in lexical resource, you have to use idioms. And I'll show you some of the idioms that I used in my response. Follow something to the letter. Follow something to the letter. Do you know this idiom? To follow a guideline to the letter means do exactly what the guideline says. or to follow the guideline very, very carefully. And I'll show you another idiom that I used. Put someone's nose to the grindstone. Put someone's nose to the grindstone. This idiom means to keep working very hard. Alright, finally, the grammar. In terms of accuracy, I think I did a good job because I don't see any terrible grammar mistake in my response. In terms of the range, you have to use a wide range of complex structure. Complex structure is a sentence that has either a conjunction or a relative clause. In terms of this, let's look at my second body paragraph. I have used 3 conjunctions: whether, if, and how. I have also used relative clause, something that they can learn. I have a wide range of complex structure, so I think this is pretty good. I have written 304 words, and this does not include the introduction and conclusion paragraphs, so this is a pretty big amount. And I would recommend writing a lot because from my experience, the more I write, the better score I get. Okay, I hope you found this video useful. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and most importantly, let me wish you good luck on your test.